My best connection I've had in basketball in general. Like I've scored 20,000 points, 10,000 points from Khris. Right, like I'm gonna tell my grandkids that, I'm gonna tell my kids that, like I'm telling the media that. No, it's a fact.
Hey, what you think? Tell us some of that check over here too for me then.
Hey, I'm broke.
Welcome to another episode of Thanalysis show with your one and only Giannis Antetokounmpo and your host, my co-host, Tony C.
What up? We're in a different arena today.
Yeah,
so
because we have
just a little. We're changing it up a tad.
Yeah, and today we have somebody so special to me, to my family. We have somebody so special to Milwaukee as well. But before we introduce our guest, I always want to thank our teammates outside the show. Always remember, it's the Gruber Law Offices. It's always Thanalysis presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call.
That's all.
I want to thank Potawatomi Casinos and Hotels. Whenever you come to Milwaukee, that's the place to stay. Great entertainment, great service, and you might win some money. Always good, right? I want to thank Prisoner Wine Company. We're going to send our guests as well some bottles. This company is good, it's great, amazing. And last but not least, McDonald's in the building. I'll let it sponsor. Thank you guys so much. Back to the show. And you guys, I gotta give them the intro.
This has to be your best intro
today,
of all time.
I gotta do it with my really
say which
on my heart. One of the greatest Milwaukee Bucks of all time, NBA champion, Khris Money Middleton in the building.
What's up? Appreciate it. I love that intro. I love it.
The amount of time since we started this show that people, we'll throw out there, who do you want to hear from? Who do you want to see? You lead the league. Like, it's not close. You lead the league and what the fans have been just asking for about a year now. So really happy to have you on the show today. Thanks again.
I appreciate it.
With votes, like whenever
TA's asked me a couple times before, and he knows me. I like to kind of stay away from everything, but he finally got me on this one.
I finally got him. How's life, man? How you feel? First of all, let's start with this. How you feeling in Washington? How's life out there?
Man, life is good. Feel refreshed for one. Great off season where I just got to work on myself, be with my family, and not have to worry about going into procedures or a long rehab. So I'm definitely feeling refreshed and blessed and thankful to still be playing. And I'm excited for this year.
Yes. That sounds just like Khris. That's Khris right there. That's like he's locked in.
Wait, I do have when we talk about the NBA, so often you see guys are drafted at 18, 19 years old. I think I'm getting a very rare opportunity tonight to talk to the two oldest players on their respective rosters.
Wow.
Is that true for you? I know TA, that is true for you too, right, Khris?
I am the OG,
the vet,
the veteran, whatever the term is now. I am that old guy on the team.
Y'all not old, but you're old in the NBA locker room.
Bro.
I tell them all the time I'm not old. Just in this building, I'm old, but once I get outside, I'm still young.
Have they called you Unk yet?
Oh yeah, every day.
Oh.
I mean, it's kind of hard.
You do? No, not me, but
that.
I can see it coming at some point. I can see it coming. But I do believe too, Tony, I'm saying this about Khris, is like that'll let you know the amount of like how much younger the league has become. Like the league has become so young. It's always been like the prospects and the potential, but like now across the board, just really, really young.
You're on your second contract before you're able to drink prisoner wine. Like legit, you're on your second deal, that 5-year, 140, whatever
Yep.
Keegan Murray just got. I think he's like 22.
Yes. Plus, I do believe this too. But I do believe the other part is that they're missing this. This is what the NBA is missing right now. Like the vets, the older guys kind of lead the way, and on the court and off the court. And I think all the teams have picked really good guys to do that, from our team, their team. Like a lot of teams are like finally seeing this as like, oh, sure, okay, we need somebody to kind of like walk through, but at the same time we need to win. We need to win a couple of games with them and teach them how to win. That's a big role as well. I don't think they could have anybody better than teaching them how to win. We're talking about Khris has won everything basically. But not from Olympic medal to Olympic
medal and NBA championship.
NBA champion, everything that is to win. you know, and mentality was play one of the like the best players and you know great players. Do they ask you questions like that? Do they ask you?
Yeah. I get they, I tell them, whatever question they have, I try to give them my point of view on it. But they do. I love that. That's what keeps me engaged. I ask them questions also, but it's more of just trying to help them grow. Let them find their own path. But like you see me in practice, T. If I see something X and O wise, and I see how you could sharpen up a certain way, I'm just gonna pull you to the side, quick tidbit about it, and we're gonna go about our business. But yeah.
So who were when you got to Milwaukee, so you got traded to the Bucks in like June or July, they had just drafted Giannis. Who were like your guys' vets when you guys were coming up early in, 2013?
Yeah. I think our vet, was mainly Zaza. He was the guy that, took no shit in there. I know TA could probably hear the stories, but, me and Zaza got into it many times about him being on me about not taking something serious, not going as hard as I need to. Or, just something where, the big bro steps in and says, this is how we be a professional here. And, I learned a lot from Zaza. I'm still in contact with him all the time, talk to him, joke with him, him and his family. But he was a guy that definitely led a great example for us.
In this journey, right, the Bucks, the NBA journey so far, right? Did you think it was going to be like this? Like, did you believe like your whole NBA journey was going to be like you being one of the best guards in the league and just really? I mean, obviously you work at it, right? You believe it. You just don't. But like, really actually doing it.
Yeah, no, I mean, when, like you said, when you get there, all you can do is work. And I've always been a big believer in my work would speak for itself, and my production would speak for itself. So year after year, you realizing you're getting better, and then at some point, I think after, my first, All-Star, I looked up, it's like, oh, I am now one of these guys, but it took a long time to get there. I feel like it took a lot of hours. But it's definitely the work that I try to pay attention to more than anything.
He's on the Mount Rushmore Bucks.
Oh yeah, 100%. Most definitely. I don't know. They say no. This is not even debatable.
Milwaukee Bucks. I did at media day. I got a chance to talk to Miles Turner, and I asked about you because obviously with the season coming up and things like that, and having played the Pacers those 2 years in a row, and the way he, as someone who is almost of the same age, like came up in the league, spoke glowingly of you as a professional, but just as when you twisted your ankle against the Pacers. He was like, and then he twisted another one. We were like, we don't have to see Khris Middleton tomorrow. And then you showed up and they were pissed. They were just disappointed that you were going to still go out there on the floor. But what does it mean to you then? Obviously, like you got rookies and other people who look up to you for what you've done in this league. But to hear that from one of the peers as well, like how much they respected you on that other sideline.
No, it means a lot. Shout out to Miles also. We spent some time on the USA team for a while. And going against each other, got a lot of respect for him. But it's just more of, I'm thankful. It's a sign of respect also that other guys acknowledge what I've done and what I'm doing. And what I've tried to play throughout my career is just, something that, I hold my hat on trying to be one of the toughest, trying to be one of the best. Like we always say, star in your role, be the best version of yourself that you could be. I think that's something that, I truly tried to live and work while I was in Milwaukee.
This obviously might catch you off guard, but would you ever come back to Milwaukee and finish your career here?
Yeah. Hitting me with the top ones already, sweating.
Right off the bat.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's all about the situation.
It's you.
Yeah, it's all about the situation, of course. I'm happy here in Washington right now. They're doing me well. I believe in this young talent that they have, but you never know in this business. I never thought I was going to get traded, and here I am. So it's something that you never want to close the door, on life and different things. So it's something that it just has to be the right situation at the right time.
So 100%.
I mean, TA hit you with the hard questions. I'm gonna go with the soft, easy ones.
The next thing I wanted to ask him is about like, with him and Giannis, like the kind of.
That's where I was headed.
Oh, that was okay.
Go ahead. I was saying, take me back. Summer of 2013. You're in the Cousins Center. You meet the Bucks' newest first-round draft pick, number 34 from Greece. What was your first impression of Giannis?
Yeah, like first is like, all right, who is this tall, skinny kid? The guy's taller than me. For one, he's skinny. He's like my pinky. John Henson might have been shot to hook. John Henson was bigger than him at the time. I'm just like, wait a second, this guy plays my position. Like, and he's from Greece to Europe. They're top pick. Like, all right, this is the guy I'm gonna have to duke it out with. And that's literally my first impression. You know, I came over with Brandon Knight, so me and Brandon played different positions, but I'm seeing him like, dang, this is the guy I gotta go against this year to at least make the team or get to that next contract or to even break the rotation.
You know what's so crazy? And actually, you know, I wanna before I ask this question, I'm gonna have I'm gonna have this guy come here and ask you. I'm gonna have come here to ask you this question because
the tall, skinny kid you had to duke it out with.
There you go. My guy, what up?
What up, man? Oh wait, my mic.
You should turn his mic on.
Hold on, man. Hey, man, what up, man?
What's up, bro? You all right? You good?
I'm good, man. You excited to see me on Wednesday?
Of course. You know, I never
he's not
excited. I can't wait till
he's not excited.
Look, I switch on him, and that shoulder comes.
Yeah. So the first question I asked him was like, "What'd you think?" We asked him like, "Hey, what'd you think about Giannis when you first got drafted?" And he said, just the skinny kid, tall kid, and this guy now he's like the top pick, right? Coming now from overseas Greece, and now I gotta like duke it. We kind of play the same position at the time, right? Kind of play the same position. I'm gonna have to duke it out with him to crack the rotation, stuff like that. What was your first impression when you met Khris?
Man, he was fouling. Man, he'll foul every possession. And you know, back then NBA was totally different. Like we had this play that we call it floppy, right? And it's pretty much exactly what Khris loves to do. You know, come out of pin downs and shoot the mid-range and like manipulate the game for him to get like an open shot. So I had to defend him. So I had to like chase him off screens and stuff. And back in the day, we had like Zaza Pachulia and Epe Udo or Larry Sands that we set a screen like that. So I used to chase him around, and I was so skinny and weak. So he used to like throw me around, like grab me and throw me this way, go that way, and manipulate the game for him to get an easy shot. And then the other thing I remember, I'll go back home and I'll like look at my hands. I'm like, man, I got so many scratches. Man, this MFer, man, God, I'm gonna get him tomorrow. You know, but it was fun. It was fun days for sure.
Do you? This is the other thing. Like, how much does because he said something before. Is like I asked him about Washington. He was like, man, there's a lot of young guys, a lot of young talent and stuff like that. And you've been in this position before with him, right? With Khris and having I think you guys went from being the youngest, right, in the team, to kind of being the like we're building around those two guys. What year was that? Was it 16, 17? Like what year was that for you guys?
16, 17, I think.
I think that sounds about right. Maybe around the year I tore my hamstring or the year after. I think that's
the year that Greg Monroe came.
Yeah.
That year.
Yeah. And while like I know, okay, this was the first year that you guys met. What about like towards now the fourth or the fifth year? What was that? What was the dynamic between you guys now?
For me, I'll be very honest with you, like, because the way that the team was thinking at the time, they were trying to like, build a team around Jabari, right? So me and Khris was like the people that fell like right underneath that. So we were just solid, right? Even the year, I think my third year when Greg Monroe came and Jabari was still on the team, but he got hurt. And then Khris was there. Like it wasn't our team. We have Jabari that had a great potential. Then we had Greg Monroe that was our top free agent at the time. And me and Khris was just like pieces of the team, right? So I think around maybe year 5 when we went to the playoffs against Boston, I realized like, oh shit, like it's me and him now moving forward. And I think that cemented when Coach Bud came on the team and gave us kind of the keys. Like Khris was the leader with Giannis, and then we had Bledsoe, and then we kind of carry on from there. So
yeah. No, keep going.
So year 6, I think he was cemented that it was me and Khris' team, Well,
so Khris, this is a question for you. Like this transition between Coach Bud coming in, J Kidd, right, and now like it's you and Jan. Like, what was your mindset? Was it like, okay, now we gotta carry this team? Was it like, were you looking at Giannis a different way? Were you looking at yourself in a different way now, like towards like leading the team?
Yeah, no, it's funny. I think both of y'all know this a little bit. Me and Bud didn't get along at first. Just from the fact that he didn't want me to shoot mid range. And he let Giannis do whatever he want. Fine. But for me, it was just like,
no, it's real.
So it was more of like, all right, I get it. Like, I got to make it work with Giannis. And me and him got to figure out how to play together, work together. But then for me and Bud, it was like, all right, if you want me to do all these things, you still have to let me be me. And of course, he helped me expand my game to the 3-point line, which it was there, but it's not like what it was. So it was more of, all right, I'm figuring this stuff out with Giannis, how we could play together, get this 1-2-man game going. But also, we have to find ways for me to still be effective from mid-range, because I feel like that's where I could be most effective at and, make and make the decisions that I need to do and whatnot. So that transition with Bud was a little rocky at first, but I understood what he was trying to do. Of course, we gotta play around big fella, because that's the engine, like everybody says. But then he also allowed me to expand my game from the 3-point line, which he saw and knew the game was coming. So I think that was, kind of where I was, where the transition from J Kidd to Bud.
So you guys are talking about like this whole, 2013 to the culminated in 2021 with the championship, right?
Yeah.
Giannis, you're on the stage and you say, "Khris, we did it. What do you say? Khris, we did it. We did it." Like, that is something I think is on T-shirts for Bucks fans, right? But for you guys, like, in that moment, how surreal did those 8 years, 9 years, 10 years of leading up to that moment, how did it feel standing there with the confetti falling?
Man, it was incredible. It was incredible. You kind of like, it wasn't that moment necessarily for me. It was a different moment, which I'll explain. But that moment, I looked back and saw Khris right there holding the trophy. And, I was looking at the crowd and looking at Adam Silver and all the people that was around, and I was like, damn, I don't believe, like, we really did it, huh? And I turned back and said what I said to Khris. But I think the moment that it was incredible for me, it was when the opening night, and it was the ring ceremony. They played this video of like me and Khris, like kind of like turning from like kids,
from the red jerseys,
yeah, from like young adults to like men. And it wasn't just basketball. It was like we literally like became like fathers, husbands. We turned into like men, right? So I'm looking at this. I'm like, I can't believe like this is the guy that I was going at him every single day at practice just because I wanted to solidify myself. And this is the guy that we've been side by side, like tough games, like high pressure situation, down the stretch. I'm looking at him.
I do. This is what was going to be my next question, right? And before you say it, I don't want to interrupt you, but that down the stretch, right? And I want you and Khris to talk about like down the stretch, the connection you have. Yeah.
My best connection I've had in basketball in general. Like I've scored 20,000 points, 10,000 points from Khris. Right, like I'm gonna tell my grandkids that, I'm gonna tell my kids that, like I'm telling the media that. No, it's a fact.
Hey, what you think? Tell us some of that check over here too for me then.
Hey, I'm broke.
No, but this is, I want to ask you now, Khris. Like we hear what Giannis is saying. Like you having to play with him and have this connection and build on this. Does that like surpass any system or coaches, or like how do you get to that point?
It's just trust. I think trust, a lot of talking, a lot of playing games together. I think the one thing that he used to always say at the beginning is just throw it up, I'll get it. I remember the first couple of times, I threw it up like, oh shit, like I don't know if he's gonna get that. And if he don't dunk it, he's coming down with it. And that's why I was like, all right, bet. Like I know at the end of the day, throw it anywhere up and he's going to catch it. Even down low, he's going to catch some of them, but I know he likes it high. And once he told me that and I saw him catch a couple, I knew, like, all right, that's, if anything else fails, I know where to go with the ball because he's going to go, it means so much to him. He's going to go get it and he's going to convert it.
You talk about the championship. I want to talk about one moment before the championship, right? Because we had the championship run. And there was a moment, when they you can call it the media. Everybody was kind of trying to. We're on a run right now, and kind of try to, create a certain atmosphere. Right? It was a moment. I think Khris had an amazing game, and they go like, "Hey, this guy's the bad man. This guy is this guy is that." How did you guys handle this? How did you guys handle this? And not you. I want to ask Khris first, and then you say. I want to ask Khris first. Like, how did you guys handle this?
First off, we never talk about it. That was never, an issue. I think we have gone through the Batman and Robin issues between our first 4 or 5 years together. So that was always solidified. It was more of trusting one another. We know how much we both want to win, and we have to trust each other in different situations, whether we have the ball or not. And I think we both learned that, and we both earned each other's respect through games, through trials and failures and successes. I mean, I think that's something about it. I think he knew for me, I wanted the best thing for the team. And I think it was the same for me to him.
You earn that trust, by showing up every single day for the team, for yourself. But like Khris was never a top pick. Like he wasn't the best player in high school. He wasn't the best player in college. He wasn't the top pick in the NBA. And the same for me. Like I wasn't like the best player in high school, best player in college, top pick, or I was never the man in any situation. Like we both were workers. You know what I'm saying? So when you see guys like working, and I see this guy work every single day to get to a spot that he's winning the NBA Finals, like I cannot discredit his work. He earned my trust. Because I've seen him like got it through the mud with me.
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So it's easy for me and Khris to respect one another and trust one another in those situations. But one thing, and I'll say this because we are workers and we never had, we have egos. Like everybody has egos. If you want to be good, you have egos. But we never have like this selfish thing. We always did what was best for the team, And down the stretch, it was easy. He was the best closer in basketball that year. So it was very easy for me. I wanted to win the game. So even if you see in Game 6, there was like Coach Bud wrote this play. It was thumb down. And he was like, Giannis, get in the elbow and go. I'm like, no. I'm going to get in the elbow, go get Khris. I'm going to give it right here, finish the game for us. We talk about the NBA effing trophy. We talk about the trophy here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I had like 45 points, whatever. I'm like, no. He's going to close the game because I trust him so much. He's been in this situation so many times. I've seen it from year 1 till year 9 that he was in the league. He's going to close the game. I trust him. So, boom.
I remember the shot, by the way.
Boom. Knock that shit down.
Yeah.
So that play, when I think a lot of people remember, that was originally drawn up for you, and you called
that play was for me.
For you.
To get it in the elbow and to go.
And
I said, no, go get Khris. And I threw it. I'm like, Khris, I'm going to get you the ball. If you can shoot it. If you cannot shoot it, I'm going to roll to the rim.
Yeah.
And he came out, and 2 guys was on him. Boom, send us home. Up 6 or up 8, I don't remember. We won the game. So what I'm trying to say here is that you trust one another because you see what he went through. Like we went through this together. We got it right off the mud, man, together from the beginning.
What's the craziest part? I mean, those two gave a great answer, by the way. They said, Khris said he is, and Giannis said he is. I just said, it was simple to me. It was just Batman, Superman. It was just simple because those 2 guys were unstoppable. They know, what I'm saying? There is nothing. I've seen Khris.
And Spider-Man, Drew Holiday.
And Spider-Man.
The Avengers.
The Avengers,
man.
An Avengers
character, third out
seriously, though, this is not even over exaggeration, And I might be biased. My brother, one of my teammates for so many years. I'll have almost a decade plus known Khris. Drew Holiday, I am biased a certain way, but I am telling you, watch, the film doesn't lie, the numbers don't lie, the winning percentages don't lie for the past, what I'm saying? That doesn't lie. I don't care however you want to dissect it. But
you just mentioned you've known Khris for a decade plus now.
Yeah.
I asked you earlier, what was your first impression of Giannis on the floor? What was your first impression of TA off the floor?
Man,
on the floor.
And on the floor, really, but the first time you met him.
No, off the floor, cool. TA gonna make sure everybody good. Everybody feeling good, positivity that we together as a team. On the court, man, it was just, who is hacking me? Who keeps fouling? And then Talking to TA, it's just all about, pushing. And, you see it with Giannis and his other brothers. It's all about, I'm just going to push you to the limits. Like, so what I'm fouling you? They can't foul you like this in the game. So it's either going to whine about it or it's going to make you tougher and better. And I think after a while, we all realize that, like, he has a different mindset of how to push guys in different ways. And that's something I always respect from TA. I see him lined up. I'm like, all right, here we go. I mean, I can't take this playoff. Like, otherwise, everybody going to see, that I don't want no smoke with TA and I don't want to be there. So, no, that was my first reaction of TA, seeing him play and playing against him and getting to know him.
Yeah. You know what's so crazy? I was like, first got in the team and he was, I'm playing the 3-4, whatever, and obviously, and now you can play any position in basketball. And I'm looking at the two guys, right, which is Khris and Pat at the time. I don't even remember. It was Khris, Pat. Who else was at the 3? Nobody was else at the 3, right? Just Khris, Pat. I think Wes.
Yeah.
Who else was at
Wes,
the 3?
yeah. Wes maybe, yeah.
Wes was kind of playing in 2 or defensive 2. Okay, he was kind of like, I'm going to mix. So I'm like, okay, let me try to guard Pat. So Pat was, okay, I'm just kind of bigger. I was like, I'm just going to try to push him out the way, corral him and stuff. So I'm trying to guard Khris, and Khris has this thing with his shoulder, like he does all the time to everybody.
Put his shoulder down.
Boom. He hits you with the right shoulder, executes. Every time, bro.
It's not only the right shoulder, it's that he plants his foot at the same time he hits you with his right shoulder, so he creates that space.
Exactly.
So he feels stronger than what he actually is.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've played one-on-one with him many times. I know his moves. So he plants his foot, at the same time he's gonna plant his shoulders. So,
right in you.
So yeah, you can't push him back, and he's always.
It just sounds like good fundamentals to me.
So
Yeah,
to me, it took me time to realize this because I go in, I'm like, okay, just guard him. Boom, hits me. I'm like, hold up. Hold up. I'm like, hold up. And the reason I say hold up is because usually I'm stronger than other guys. Usually I'm embrace it. I'm going, what I'm saying, take it tag or do something. I'm like, I was like, hold on. Why? Because he hits me, and then in the same instinct, when he hits me, the ball is already in the basket. I'm like, bro, this guy's footwork is elite. The last time I saw somebody with this kind of footwork is in highlights. When I'm watching like Kobe and I'm watching like Michael Jordan, like just the footwork. It was elite. And then I sat down and I was like, man, I'm like, I don't know if I've ever kind of be able to ever, not even close to be able to have this touch and this like feel for like how to
he got some shit to him.
Yeah. But I would watch him, work ethic. I would ask him. People ask, like a lot of people, it doesn't matter what's your age. I don't care if you're 25, 30, or 35. You see something new, ask. I was like, hey, Khris, how do you shoot? Do you remember this? Remember, Khris?
Yeah.
When I was like, how do you shoot? And then I was like, okay. And I took it. I swear to God, I was shooting great. And I was like, he's not jumping too much, and he shoots forward. And I was like, because I was having trouble with the line, because he felt like from Europe, felt a little bit further.
Gotcha.
I was shooting my fingers. So what I want to say about this is like, my first impression was like, man, I want to play against this guy. But then I was like, no, I want to learn from this guy. And the way he was talking to everybody was very mature. Even though we were the same age. Usually, I swear to God, anybody I meet my age, they're not really that mature at the time. I was like, no. But he was very mature, very like down to earth, and cared about like his family and about this like city. Very, very, very happy, first of all, that he's here, and we're saying this all the time.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to ask a difficult question, and this is, as you guys can answer this, how you want to ask. You get traded, right? Did you guys talk? Like, what it was
For me, it was very weird. It was very weird, because even the day that it happened, I'm not on social media. He knows too. Like, I don't follow what's going on. I don't have shams in my notifications like other players. And, like it was the team bus. We had the game in Charlotte, I think, or I don't remember where.
Yeah, Charlotte.
And then I'm in the team bus, and Khris always sits behind me, right? This last couple of years, he was always behind me on the right side. So I'm like, hey, hold on, Khris.
Yeah.
I was like, they told me like, hey, man, he got traded. I said, for real? I said, yeah. I said, damn. And then the whole week was just weird, because like I've never played the NBA game ever in my career without him. So it was kind of weird. But then how the NBA,
the business. I understand.
It's either you gotta like learn how to swim or you're gonna drown. So you just gotta figure out the way to keep on helping your team, keep on being great. and keep on staying within your routine so you can keep on doing what you're doing, right? So after that, though, we had the conversation, and that was it.
What about you, Khris?
Yeah, same. I mean, as far as, what was going through my mind when it happened, of course, a lot of emotions, man. Pissed, angry, happy, sad, all the above. One thing I was happy about, I got to drive home after I got traded. Went to one of those rental car companies, hopped in the car and drove 3 hours back home. Spent a day or two there, and then went to DC once everything got finalized. But on that drive, it was just a lot of, reminiscing, just, from day one since I got there all the way up until, losing against Indy in the playoffs. But it was a ride I think I needed, some time by myself where you could just sit back and reflect on things and, kind of get things out the way. Then talking to Giannis, like, it was weird, like, not, knowing that this is going to be my teammate, my sidekick, for the rest of my career or just to the end of the season, whatever it was. So that was definitely a weird feeling, a weird thought process that I was going through. Trying to figure out a new normal for me because I've been in Milwaukee pretty much my whole NBA career. So that's pretty much, all I knew, the life of, basketball in Milwaukee. So getting myself, to try to figure out a new city, especially like DC, a big difference than Milwaukee, different pace, different lifestyle. But it was something I was excited about. Get to, still playing in the NBA, I get to see, a different side of it now, which I'm happy I am.
I'll say one other thing. I was like, it was a road trip. So after the road trip was over, I was like on Twitter, and they were like,
why?
Like, yeah,
That's a great question.
Shit. Yeah,
why?
Yeah, I was on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then I was like seeing like me and Khris, and then Khris and his stats, and Khris and me, Khris and Drew. I was just like, dang, fuck. I started getting emotions. So that's why you saw me, like, I don't know if you guys remember last year that I reposted like a bunch of tweets of Khris and all that. It's because I was on the plane, because I was thinking about the same thing. I was like just reminiscing all the years that you went by and all the moments that we've had. And people like see it from the outside. Like when you're in the inside and you're in those high pressure moments, when you're like grinding through training camp, through preseason, down moments on the plane, playing cards, going out to dinners together and all that. People don't see that, So I spent more time with Khris in those 12 years than with you.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
We became teammates again, and we all spent the time together.
Yeah,
right?
like I literally spent more time with him than my own brothers. So it was definitely still is a weird feeling.
That's the part I don't think fans realize, especially if you're not a fan of the team itself and you watch those games and those moments, because fans think everything is fantasy basketball, right? You trade this guy, it's 2K. You trade this guy, you trade this guy, we need this, blah, 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 whatever. They don't see the card games. Who's a better card player, though?
No, the both kind of play the same. Tony, I'm not going to lie to you, and obviously we don't have to talk about this now, but all of us have the same...
Conservative.
We're conservative.
Okay.
All three of us. It's hard to play. Like if somebody was the fourth playing against us, he would hate all of us. Because we play a certain way, all of us. All three in this thing. But I remember when I heard the news, it was actually like 2 o'clock in the morning. I just woke up, went downstairs. I literally went downstairs, bro.
You were in Greece.
Yes, I was in Greece. And I FaceTimed you and I called you. I was like, man, I will never take for granted any advice you gave me, anything we sit down, any dinner we had, any, on the road, the wins we had, like, just us being together, because this is what the NBA is. It's something so special, right? That sometimes just because it's human, it's a human thing. It's a human trait to take stuff for granted. They just, push on the next day and the next day. But like I would never take this for granted. The same way last year I lost, a whole year like being out and watching from across. Like even though I was happy to be in the building and feel the atmosphere, I was devastated. I mean, I was like, why am I here? But why am I watching this guy? Why I'm not? You know what I'm saying? My dogs. Why am I? So, but like I said, bro, like really being a brother and not being a brother as in like the talks and everything, and showing up and with the actions. I'll never take this for granted. And I know. Obviously, you're wearing a different uniform, and he's wearing a different uniform and etc. But it really doesn't matter because we've built something so great
Can I say something?
Yeah.
You know, like those moments sometimes you're like, damn, he's special.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it was year 6 for me, year 7 for Khris. It was a game against Washington, the team that he plays now. You know, I took my knee was hurting, so I stayed out, and the team played without me. All of a sudden, like while I'm getting like treatment and stuff, it's like, hey man, Khris got 20 in the half. Damn, you know, like that's evidence. Then you're like, oh, he got 25. Shit, he hooping. He got 30. I said, ooh. I know you're gonna be happy tomorrow. Shit, he might get us some watches too. You know, 35. I said, no, you gotta calm down, Khris. Calm down. Mama, 40, 45, 50, 51.
51 points.
I came back. Yeah, I have this picture on my phone. He had like a paper that he wrote 51. I said, just have 51. Bro, what the
special, bro.
Mm-hmm. Special. And when you look at it, go look at the clips. It's straight buckets. Buckets.
That's Khris Middleton. That's K.
If I remember, did you had no turnovers that game too, right?
No, I think the stat that I remember was I had a double-double, and shout out to Dante. Tay let the ball drop so I could get that double-double for my last
Shout out to Dante.
So
first of all, big shout out to Tay. Dante DiVincenzo always looking out for his teammates.
Yeah,
always been a great teammate. I gotta get him on the show. I've been trying to, but I'm busy. You know? Okay, Khris. Now, apart from that, I know you're a businessman. I know you like to do businesses. I know you like what is the stuff like fans don't know about you, like outside the court, like stuff like fun stuff you do outside the court.
Yeah, fun stuff I do. Besides, you know, being the dad, being the husband, being with my kids and whatnot, I like golfing. Golf, you know, 2-3 times during the summertime. Try to sneak out during the season. Not that great, but you know, I can hit a solid ball, which I'm proud of, which I think most golfers should be proud of. But it's also just, you know, right now just trying to figure out what, you know, post basketball is going to be like. Something, you know, I've been doing research on, you know, what avenues I could go down, internships about, you know, what I could exactly do, but it's something I want to be involved with sports and basketball. So I'm just trying to figure out that part of life. I figure, you know, I know how to get my daily routine on my day job, keep the main thing, but also, you know, start poking my head outside, seeing what else is out there for me. Because, you know, we all know we can't play basketball forever. You know, thankfully I've made, you know, generational money where, you know, I don't really have to worry about too much of that. But it's also, you know, I still want to have a purpose in life. You know, I'm a big guy that feels like you have to have some type of purpose in life. So that's what, you know, I'm trying to search for without playing basketball at least.
So is that coaching? Is that like player relationships?
Yeah, I think it's front office.
Front office.
I can see him in front office.
I was going to say, it's front office, or there are very few people who should be working with younger players, younger generations like you should be. Yeah. They can learn a thing or two from you.
It's tough. I mean, I think, you know, Giannis, NBA players, the coaches, you know, that's a real grind. The hours they put in is damn near double from what we put in. So
yes,
I need to have a balance. I want to have a balance where I'm still able to enjoy life a little bit outside the gym, but still be around the game a little bit. So those are things that, you know, I'm trying to figure out how I can make that work, if possible, you know.
No, that's great. I do want to ask you now about which one has been your favorite play you had with the Bucks? One of your favorite play you've ever had with the Bucks. And I'm gonna ask you the same after.
My favorite play.
He's like, man, I'll never forget this play ever.
Actually, my favorite play might be, you know, the game winner against Miami Heat. I think that was the first year we made the playoffs. It was a big shot. It was over one of my favorite players, D Wade. And now I think, that season was the first, I think, jump myself and Giannis might have taken, you know, especially as a team where we weren't necessarily considered like a great team or a team you need to be worried about. That season was hell for us, and we clawed and fought our way to a playoff seed. And I think that shot was a big shot for us to get a game ahead on somebody for the seeding.
Yes.
You know,
what about you?
My play or Khris?
No, your play.
My play. Okay, wait. I'll think about it.
Yeah, he got a lot of them.
I have a couple to pick from.
But, you know, Khris, whenever he plays, he doesn't show a lot of emotion, right? So maybe when it comes to the huddle, like if somebody's like BSing, not giving like not playing the right way for the team, he might say something. He might like snap, right? So I'm gonna say two things. One is Game 7 against Brooklyn. Down the stretch, I think Bruce Brown or somebody was guarding him, and he drove right and spin, and I was right there looking at the ball, spin, and made from the free throw like a fadeaway. And usually whenever he makes a shot, he's like this, like his face is just like cold, cold-blooded. And that was the first time I saw him, he was like, that was the first time. He went back on defense, like,
I think that was more of a cramp. I know, I was tired.
That was a cramp?
The boy was tired, man. But I was happy I made that shot, though. I think that it was more of an exhale, more of a relief. Because we all know what that series was for us. And that shot was more of a relief, but I was tired also.
One of the other funny stories, we were the year we won the championship, right? It was maybe the 5th game of the season, right? Me and Khris, we've been like this, no matter what's going on in our lives, no matter if we hang out, don't hang out, we once we get on the court, we know what the assignment is, and the assignment is to win.
Always.
And there was this play in Miami, I
remember the play.
I'm sprinting, and Khris is like, hey, GA, go through. Because once I go through, I know exactly what he's thinking. I'm going to take the attention, I'll be the decoy, and he going to get open 3, right? So I know exactly, but I was tired. I'm like, no, man, you run. He's like, no, you got to go through. I said, I'm tired of running, man, you run,
Yeah.
So we're going back and forth, and I can see everybody, because everybody came to the team, for us. And Drew, Bobby, Bryn Forbes, all this.
Can I interject and add something to that? Nobody wanted to say shit.
Yeah, nobody
we was watching you argue, and I'll say something.
We never yell at each other like that either.
Yeah,
never. The rarest times we did.
Yeah, they never yet. And I watch you guys go back and forth, and people are like, usually because I'm the guy who's like, hey, bro, chill. They look at me, I'm like, hey, that's big money right there. Let them talk. Let them figure that out.
So we're going back and forth. Nobody said nothing. We come out of the huddle, and then all of a sudden, Khris get the ball. I said a pick and roll. He throw it blindly. I took it up. Took it lob. And then looking at us, motherfucker's crazy. What the fuck?
Yeah, they were just going back and forth.
No matter what we do, if we go back and forth, that was our only argument that we ever had on the basketball court. We are going to do what it takes to win, and that was one of the things that solidified for me too, because I'm like, man, I was just arguing with this guy. This guy just threw me the lob, no look pass for me to get it easy too. And there was one other story that I wanted to say. You were saying something.
No, I just said you guys said something about Brooklyn. I just feel like it's a good space. I don't know if we have time. It's a great space to discuss that series, because that series to me. Remember? Do you guys remember at all what I was yelling at the locker room? Like I'm saying about the 30 for 30. You remember that?
Yeah.
I kept yelling, guys, one more half. We beat them. They're gonna make a 30 for 30. Like we beat them, which was crazy because the way we were, and that's the way these guys play down the stretch and I remember specifically because he said something about exhaling. Like we played amazing. We after game 3 and 4, we were supposed to win game 5, right? And KD went crazy, and it was like, okay, game 6 we beat them, and then we go back game 7, and we're playing great, and we're hitting shots, blah blah. And I don't remember. It might have been a play that. What was the play before KD stepped on the line? Was it the play with Brook? Was it the play like somebody passed it?
Brook, the Brook play. Yeah, he didn't shoot it. Brook didn't shoot the ball.
Hey, he didn't shoot it. And everybody was so agitated, and I'm like, oh, God, please, let's not lose like this. Because I'm seeing you sweating, you're giving everything you have. Giannis is like, you guys are playing, Drew is guarding Katie, Tuck is coming off screens, is blocking. I'm like, oh, God, please. I'm in the best. I'm like, God, please, let's not lose like this. Because this is supposed to be our series now. And he steps on the line. He steps on the line, bro.
Yeah, bro. This is what people do. People forget this. That he was about to hit the same shot because it was overtime.
Oh, yeah.
He had exactly the same shot to win the game, and he went short. You remember that?
Yes, he did. I remember.
You remember that?
I remember. Yes.
Bro, he was like deja vu. I said, and then he went short. I'm underneath the basket. He went short. I'm like, thank God, bro. Because if Brook had shot the ball, it would have been over.
Yeah, it would have been game over. He just didn't shoot it. But I want to say, what was your feeling going to that series?
That series. I think that series seriously took some years off my life. I think for the next couple years, I had PTSD walking to that building just from KD, the terror that he gave us throughout that whole series, with James going down and Kyrie going down. It was just like, we got to win it, and he gave them everything. Everything.
And James
up
came
until
back
the last second of Game 7. For us to pull it through. But that was the most stressful series that I think I've ever been through. I think that series helped us win the finals because being down 0-2 against Brooklyn before, we weren't fazed as much as I think we should have been, just because we had just been in a situation like that. And I think we realized we got lucky and advanced from that. But we knew, all right, we just have to go home, take it one game at a time. We got to win the first game at home in the finals, then the second game. But that series, man, it's something I think about all the time. And I think it's one of those series where I think it's just, one of the best ones I think I've been a part of for sure and seen, just with, the way KD was playing, how he carried that whole team. It's still unreal.
Did you guys know, so your angle's on the floor, did you think it was a 3?
Yes. We all thought it was. We all thought he gamed us.
Yes.
I'm not even going to ask Chris if you want. We all thought he gamed us.
I had a panic attack.
Right after he shot it?
No, when the ball went through the net, I started having a panic attack. I said,
we all did.
I started looking. I said, no effing way. This.
And there was okay, we got him.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, we got it. When he stepped on the line, it was like, we got him.
Going back to that huddle too, it was just like, you could see on everybody's face, you were like, holy shit. Like, first of all, we got lucky, but this just like, he's unreal. Like, we might lose this if we're not careful with him. And thankfully, he just ran out of gas at the end. But everybody's face, you could see we might have effed this up. We messed up our chance to advance because this dude is just, it was unreal.
Insane, man.
And what people don't remember, he came back from Achilles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Achilles.
Yeah. And that was the second game he did that to us. He did that Game 5. Game 5, which I remember that as well when we left the game. And it was we had a chance to just go Bucks in 6, right? And finish it. Bro, even, he said something, just us being lucky. I do believe in luck. I'm product of it, my family. I do believe in that. But you know what I do believe too? I believe you push yourself so hard that you're right there. For you to be you're right there. Because if we would have gave up a 2-0, we would have been done. With Dusky, you don't come back from 3-0. We would have been done. We would have been that's it. Let's go. Everybody's going. You guys are going to the Olympics. We're going to we're trying to fight for the Olympics or whatever the case would have been, blah, blah. And he helped us when he would change the momentum against Phoenix.
I was just going to say, so you guys were down, so it's like you've been here before.
Yeah, but this is the next question I want to ask him. You remember it was a picture with Shu and Drew, being down 2-0?
Yeah.
Right? And it was just you guys sitting in the press conference, and they're like, you guys are down 2-0 from the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals. And you're like, yeah, all right. And Drew's like, yeah, sure. I mean, what was that? How
it was, man. It was just a coincidence. Me and Drew really didn't mean it to be disrespectful or laughing, but it was just funny because we knew we were going to ask that question, and we were in the locker room or heading towards the media press conference, just talking through the game, talking through the series, talking about what we need to do. And literally the first question we had just been talking about was it. So that's why we both look at each other like, here it comes. And it was just basically about how we have to adjust. People don't realize Giannis didn't finish the Atlanta series. Playing with Giannis and playing without Giannis is a huge difference with the team. Just because he needs the ball, we need him to have the ball so we all can be effective. And when he's not, we all have to play a different type of game. So him coming back, we all have to adjust our game again. And I think it took it took a game and a half to figure that out again. Because in the playoffs, it happens fast. Season, we're able to catch a rhythm. You could drop a game or two. But in the finals, we had to figure that out fast. And that's what we were trying to figure out. We was like, all right, we got to figure out how, first off, to come out get out of this O2 hole, get the first game, and we got to figure out how to play around big fella again for us all to be successful. And I think that was the question that had both of us laughing. We were just like, man, this is just funny. And you know, Drew's very funny, quiet, sarcastic guy that, you know, got definitely a good sense of humor. So yeah, that's what that kind of moment was about. And like when we saw the picture, we knew we were gonna get killed for it, because I don't think I realized I smiled or laughed like that, because yeah, I know it's a terrible look to be smiling and laughing and find us down 0-2, but it's life. That's life. Sometimes you gotta laugh at certain things, and you gotta move on for certain things.
Yeah, but the picture turned out to be iconic.
Iconic.
It did. Me and Drew still laugh about it and talk about it from time to time too. It's definitely a picture that's gonna go up in my office or house somewhere.
He wasn't here, but in the beginning he was telling me, like, now he's the oldest. I was like, oh, bro, I'm the oldest. And he's like, we have a lot of lottery picks and stuff like that. Does he feel like, what do you think? And obviously, I don't want to put you in the spot, right? But what do you think is success for these kids? Like, what is it? Is it them saying like, hey, we're gonna make a run to the playoffs and compete? Is it because, you know, Washington has been in a kind of rebuilding mode for a minute now, right? And now bringing you in, like, what is the things they expect from you? Have you talked to them? Have you obviously you've talked to them?
Yeah,
and
for
kind of
me, for my roles is, you know, first to be a basketball player. You know, I'm not here to retire. I'm here to play basketball, help them win games, help them build their organization up.
Yes, sir.
But then also is, you know, letting these guys grow. I mean, they put the work in. I think that's the most important thing is they believe in their talent. Which I think is extremely important. Like, you have to have confidence as a young player playing, because you could be demoralized fast by how many games we're losing. Me and Giannis won 15 games, didn't win 2 games in a row our first year in Milwaukee. And your confidence can be taken from you. So that's something that I love about them. Their confidence is always high because they believe in the work that they're putting in. They understand that the results may not come now, but eventually, if they keep stacking those days, putting that work in, that eventually it can happen if they put the right work in. And that's something that, you know, I literally been through. So it's fun. It's refreshing. Like, I've been telling a lot of people, like, I see now, you know, what I was going through. You know, when I was in Milwaukee. Now I'm that Zaza, I'm that Karan, I'm OJ, Juice. You know, all those guys, seeing the young guys, you know, get after how hungry they are, how much they want to be great, but not exactly having that experience yet, but trying to get there.
Yes, I wanted to actually. So now this brought me to a question that you just popped in my head. Like, how was that season for you guys, Yanni? Like, how was that season when you guys? I mean, obviously you coming from overseas, so you're like, okay, we just want to win games. But like, you was already in the NBA, right?
Yeah, second
already,
year,
right? Like, how was that? You guys just winning 15 games, kind of like you guys being the projects and the kind of building.
For me, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I had no idea. I was just happy that I was in the NBA.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you, but you know, like, from the team that we came in Greece, we had the best winning percentage in the country the last 5 years.
By the way, Tony, I don't know if you know this. Like, we was a team that we never lost a championship for like 4 years straight.
Yeah, we didn't lose maybe like 3 games in a season.
So that first year was all new to you.
It was losing was new.
Yes.
Yeah. But at the same time, I was just happy that I was like an NBA player. You know, I'm able to be around the guys. I was going to the Staples Center. I was going to TD Garden. You know, I'm like going to all these arenas, United Center, and playing the basketball game. I'm like, whew, I'm living the dream, man. Like, that's what I was thinking. You know, I didn't know no better. But afterwards, when the first year went by and we didn't win 2 games in a row, and then the coaching staff changed, and then J. Kidd came and we won like 41 games and we went to the playoffs. Then I realized that I wanted more. Like, I wanted this environment. I wanted to be around, like, you know, high pressure situation, like winning culture, winning basketball. I loved it. I craved it again. But my first year, I'll be honest with you, like, I really did not care. All I was thinking about was just like, hey, man, can I get my 15, 20 minutes, man? I get my dunk. You know what I'm saying? You know, improve, lift some weights, and get out of here.
What about you, Khris? How was it like
the same,
15?
Man. It's weird because you shouldn't say this as, you know, a competitor, but I feel like that was one of the best years I had, just because there's really no expectations. I mean, it was just all they told us, like, go out, play as hard as you can, and we're going to evaluate y'all based on how y'all play. So, I mean, it's not pressure on winning games, playoff games. It was just, all right, they're giving us a chance. Let's try to take advantage of it. So I think that's where it's fun. And like what Giannis said, the culture changed when J. Kidd came. I think that's when we realized, all right, this ain't just and giggles. Like, we're not here just to have fun. Like, we're here to put in work, and we're here to become winners. So I think that's what I think about, my first year there going to my second year. It was just, I getting a chance to play. I'm happy. Like Giannis said, like I was coming in a suit and tie. Like, we had to wear jackets on the bench back then if you didn't play.
Yes, we did. They changed. Seriously, they changed the dress code, Tony. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
On the plane, you had to wear a suit and tie on the plane.
On the plane?
On the plane. Yeah, business casual.
You couldn't wear sweats. Like, no holes in the jeans. So yeah, every game I was in a jacket most times. So now I got the uniform on. Like, I'm happy, bro. Let's get it. Like, let's go out there, hoop. Like, not worry about much. But then, like I said, once J. Kidd came, he turned the switch, and I think we all needed that. I think myself and Giannis definitely needed that because it pushed us. It was the start of great careers.
What's your relationship with J. Kidd now?
I don't talk to him through messages and whatnot, but when I see him, I always say what's up to him and whatnot. I got a lot of respect for him. I spend a lot of time with him in the office, just talking about life. Talking about basketball, talking about, off the court, talking about, some of the stuff that he's been through. He taught me a lot, man. So he's definitely one of my favorite coaches that I've had.
That's good. I always sit down now here and kind of, now you guys are saying all this, and I remember me being the first 3-4 years like on the outside, and it was like, hey man, you guys are doing a great job, you guys are winning. And I remember you guys had a series in Boston, and you won that one, and you lost another one that you guys was playing like crazy, like was playing so much, man, and you took him to, was it game 7? Like you really took him to,
yeah, that was game 7.
And it was a shot. I think it was a shot that I can't remember this, but I think it was a shot from the 45, but like away from the 45. I remember Khris had made, right? Mm-hmm. What series was that? Do you guys remember?
That was that was the
Boston.
First time we played Boston in the playoffs, I think. Yeah, that was game 1. I hit that shot.
I would literally argue, and this I don't think it's a hot take. I think it's actually fact that you guys really been the process of, how we say like process in the NBA. I mean, the Sixers were saying all the time as well, like kind of the process of the NBA, like building talent, like letting talent work. But you have to have that fire. Like if you don't have this fire, if you're not competitive enough, they will eat you up in the NBA. If you don't have this, I don't know how to say it. It's something that
discipline. You gotta have discipline.
Not only that, it's
you gotta show up.
You know what I mean?
Like that fire.
Somebody, yeah. Like when you guys talk about each other, you guys love each other, respect each other so much, and you're so competitive. You're so competitive and want together, like, and learn how to play together, and not out of saying like, oh, somebody made you have to learn how to play with each other. No, from experience, from saying like, hey, I need you to win. That's what it takes to become this. And Giannis said something before about you guys not being highly drafted, not being all these things. Not like being expectation like, oh, this guy was gonna. Giannis was a draft and stash guy. Even though he went 15, he was probably a draft and stash guy. Like, hey, and somebody believed in him. So like, hey, come in and showed like how you guys work. Like I was very, very impressed when I came to the Bucks, and the coach was like, hey man, you're just gonna come here. First year you might not get a lot of play. You might be active, inactive. At the time it was active, inactive. There was no two ways. No, like it was active, inactive. And I remember we were playing a game in Houston, and Houston went up like 19 points. And, in Europe, if you go up 19 points, it's done. It's over. I'm like, and I changed in the bench. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, why are you guys playing like this? And then you guys picked them apart and came back to the game, won the game. With Bledsoe, with you, him, everybody. And I said, wow, this is what it is. And I remember my first year, we beat everybody. And then COVID hit. Everybody was like, oh my God, we're just gonna cakewalk. That's all. I was like, bro, it's incredible. This team is so good that we was gonna cakewalk. With Brook Lopez, Robbie Lopez, Giannis, Kyle Korver, Wesley Matthews, Bledsoe, George Hill, like all this team. And I was like, wow, there's so many great players, and everybody looks up to these two guys. From Eric Bledsoe to George, like everybody, like, and mind you, you know what I'm trying to say, like, and obviously I might be biased, but everybody sees him as Giannis, but I see him as my brother. And I'm like, wow, all these guys look up to these two guys to lead them.
Yeah, I don't even think it's biased, too, to be honest. From an outsider perspective, obviously not in the locker room, but like y'all won 15 games, and then you took the franchise to the first playoff series win in 17 years. Like, that was a huge deal for Milwaukee and for Bucks fans. It was from 2001 when Ray Allen and them made that run. You guys win that series. Then you get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Then you get it done. Like, the way that story is told, like, I mean, we can just be real. Like, it's two egoless superstars, right? Like, It doesn't happen anymore. And, like, that story, TA, you said the Nets were going to get a 30 for 30. Like, that team needs the whole process.
No, that's what I'm saying.
30 for 30.
No, I was like, when we was beating the Nets, I was like, hey, remember, they will make a 30 for 30. You know, I love 30 for 30, so I watched all of the games. I was like, they're going to make a 30 for 30 after we beat this team with Kyrie, KD, and everybody. And just the process of doing all of these things, and who's on the team, etc.
You know what's wild is Brandon Jennings will still say, like, yeah, I was part of that process.
Yes.
Because he was in the trade that brought you here.
Yes.
He wasn't on the team, but he was like, I was part of that process.
You know? But now, okay, let's leave the Bucks a little bit. Let's focus on Khris, because I know you guys will have limited time. I don't want to keep Khris here. Game tomorrow or the day after, you know. And thank you so much, Khris, for doing the show, and thank you for coming in, because you know I told him it was going to be you. And he was like, I want to sit down. And then I called him. I was like, hey, come ask him, and kind of join the conversation.
Because I think this out the house, man. That don't happen too often.
Exactly. And
I had my laptop ready. I got my chips ready. I got my Gatorade ready to hydrate after. I was ready, man.
And this is a rare opportunity. This is legendary. For me, it's amazing. But I want to ask you, I've seen, like, how they do the pictures, like memes, when you have a great game and like squint and it's like, and it's MJ and you're squinting a little bit, and then it's Khris, or like it's Kobe and then it's Khris. Like, did you ever like model their game from them? Because the way, bro, the midi, the way you come off, this footwork. Like, what would you? How would you?
For sure, man. I watched tons of YouTube film on Kobe, Jordan, and KD. There's just some of the purest scores that can score from all levels. That's seen every type of defense that can go both ways. That have tremendous footwork, that can play on and off the ball. So those are the main guys that I've always watched, just because how they play. They're efficient at what they do, and they know how to manipulate defenses and defenders, without doing a whole lot of too much within the offense in isolation, which I love. So no, it's definitely, I've seen the videos, I've seen the memes, which I think is hilarious, because I trust me, Giannis knows, I wish I had that athleticism as those guys do.
You do have, because I've seen it. You can't say you don't have athleticism, because I've seen you dunk, and I've seen you, like, you know what I'm saying? Get out there.
Flashes.
I have my rare moments from time to time. But no, I try to take, the basic fundamentals from those guys. I think people don't realize how skillful and how basic their fundamentals are. And that's something that I've always tried to take from them, because you don't have to be super fast or super strong to learn those things. And that's, how I've scored, many points in the post, on the elbow, in the mid-range, just by, studying those guys.
Yeah, I want to jump in with one more here, because we're recording this obviously right before the games, we kind of said before. We're going to edit through the night to make sure this goes up. But Khris, I know, Giannis, you said what you said about the tribute video, and there better be some tears.
Yeah.
He's not going to cry.
I would say, one, what would it take to get you to cry before a game? But also, just what are you kind of expecting coming back?
Man, I've been trying to visualize, since from the time I land up until we leave, about what it's going to be like there, just because I know it's going to be a lot for me. Y'all know I'm not very emotional, but being in Milwaukee all those years, the things that I've accomplished, the life I've lived with my family, man, it was a dream. Like, it honestly was. To play with an MVP, like, not a lot of people get to say that. Hall of Famer, somebody that was halfway across the world. Like, never would I thought in a million years, like, I'll be playing with some dude from Nigeria or Greece, like, and we'll be linked up teammates. and and having a great winning percentage. So when you take count of all those things about what I've done individually, as far as being an all-star, which is something that
Hall of Famer, yes. Hall of Famer, no, 1,000%. 1,000%.
An all-star, but an all-star was like one of the first nods where I'm like, okay, this place has helped me become an all-star, helped me accomplish a lot of my dreams. So that's just something that, you know, I keep trying to visualize, get it out the way so I won't be too emotional in front of everybody. You know, I'm a private guy, I'm a quiet guy. So I try to, you know, visualize things so, you know, I'm able to embrace it, love it, take it, receive it, however you want to say it, that love, the appreciation now I'm getting, take it as a sign of respect. Because you know, Milwaukee has meant so much to me in my career, and they've done so much for me in my career that, you know, I'll always be thankful for that organization in that city.
And Milwaukee respects you, obviously, right back to, like, as from that perspective, from a fan. There's going to be more tomorrow might be the first time there's more 22 jerseys than 34 in the Pfizer.
I don't want to see no 34 jerseys in there.
No. You know what? I want to, because I don't want, you know, guys to get emotional. I want to take away from that, and I want to say something funny. You said All-Star, bro. There's a play that you go for a shot at the All-Star game. Giannis blocks your shot, bro.
No. Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
I want us to talk about that story.
You guys,
that's how we end our podcast.
You making me look like the bad guy here. Hold on.
No, but let's hear his story, his side first, and then we'll hear your side first. Okay, go. Khris.
So first I'm like, damn, somebody blocked me. I turn around, I'm like, it's this, of course, like, I know him, like, you see, yeah, that look, like, that's how you know. He's like, oh yeah, he was lining me up the whole time. We talked so much during practice when we get the chance to go against each other that I knew he was waiting for that moment. He acted like he didn't do it, or he didn't know, he knew it was me. And
it was reflex. It was reflex.
Okay, so go now. So you say your side of the story.
Yeah. First year that we were all-stars together, I think he was in Charlotte. If you go, you can pull up the clips. I'm coming down with the ball. I'm looking with Khris. Where's Khris? I threw the ball to Khris. He knocked down his shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was teammates. Okay, I was teammates.
I was teammates.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when we're teammates, I'm gonna look out for my guy, right? But now we on a different team now, and now it's free game. It's free game. He went for the dunk. I went to get that. But it was funny.
But not a lot of people can say that. Not a lot of people can say what you said, and you know, you guys playing together. I've been blessed to be a part of all of this. On the side in the beginning, involved, and winning a championship with you guys. That's like, I don't know. That's if somebody doesn't say that's one of the best things you could have ever done in the league. Winning with a team, you know, right? And a team, not a super team, but a team of super players. That's how I say it. A team of super players, super characters, and that's what mattered to us. Wow, it's always we're coming towards the end of the podcast.
Right as you end it, just for the Bucks listening to this, retire the jersey. Build the statue. Just make it happen now. 22 in the rafters.
It's gonna happen. It's a fact. And the jersey gonna be retired, and the statue gonna be there. It's going to happen. It's a fact.
And it's well deserved, and it's earned, and it's. I don't know if I.
I just gotta break the 3-point record.
Yeah. Now he wants to crack the
nose. He can have any record he want over there, just except for that one. I need one. Except
that
one. I'm 953s away.
Hold on. But I got a question. Where are you in the all-time threes?
Like
we
7?
got technology.
You're like top 10 in the threes in the
I have to be. I've made like 500 of those motherfuckers, man.
Okay.
I have to be. But he's like now. He's number one.
Of course, he's number one, man.
I'm right there, though. 950 away.
He was so crazy. He said that with Coach Bud, he became more like acquainted with the three. So that's the span of what? 5 years now? 6 years?
No. He was making threes. Like
he was making threes. It was more of like J.K. was encouraging me to shoot more catch and shoot threes when they were available. Bud added, the dribble threes, pull up threes in transition, pick and roll threes. I was more going to the mid range for those a lot.
Like with Coach Bud, it was volume.
Yes.
Volume. He shot like he could shoot like 8, 10, 12 a game.
Yeah, I was.
And Coach Bud will not say.
We want to shoot 45. I remember we want to shoot 45.
Yeah, exactly.
You got it.
So you have 528.
528.
Khris has 1382.
I just made. So I said 950s, 850.
Yeah.
850. So I just made 100 threes right now. So I'm 100.
The countdown is on, Khris. 854 till Giannis breaks your record.
Hey, I'm breaking it. One by one. Brick by brick, one by one.
Okay. So, hey, for people who are watching, people who are listening, we're coming towards the end of the show. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to follow Khris. Go follow him on all his socials. Twitter, X, TikTok. I don't know if he has TikTok, Instagram. Please follow his journey. He's an amazing person, and he has so much more to give to the game of basketball. And like he's an amazing person. Please like, share, subscribe to the show. Remember, it's Thanalysis presented by Gruber Law Offices. And whatever you watch your podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, we're available on every platform.
We're everywhere.
Yeah, and if you want to watch it on YouTube, of course, it's gonna be amazing episode. You guys are gonna enjoy this. And again, thank you guys so much.
Thank you again, Khris.
Analysis.
I appreciate y'all, man. Love, man.
See you on the Khris.
I see you on Wednesday, man.
Don't stand on in that rim, Giannis. I'm telling you.
Hey, you know,
our show trailer.
Hey, you know, I don't jump no more. I'm taking charges this year. Why you guys laughing? Man, I'm serious.